I'm Terry Hutchins from allhoosiers.com, where today Indiana knocks off Penn State 44-24. I got to give it up to Popley. He said before the season this was going to happen. So did Justin Albers. You got to give them credit where credit's due. My prediction before today was 48-38 Penn State. I just didn't think the defense could stop anybody. And I think that obviously that was the one thing that was played out over and over and over today, was just how many times the defense was able to come up big. I mean, how surprised were you by that?
I was very surprised. We saw them hold Bowling Green without an offensive touchdown, but that's Bowling Green. This is Penn State. Bill O'Brien has worked wonders on the offensive side of the ball since he's taken over at Penn State, Terry. I thought the defense had a chance if they stopped the run. It looked kind of ugly early, and they couldn't stop Penn State on third downs, but then they started to stop the run a little bit. They blitzed the crap out of Christian Hackenberg today, and that was the formula for success. There was pressure in the freshman quarterback's face, and he just wasn't the same today.
Trey Roberson, we've talked about it over and over. Should it be Sudfeld? Should it be Roberson? Can they coexist? All the different things. Well, I think today we found out that, yeah, they can coexist. You can use Roberson in certain situations and isolate him and really be able to use him.
Yeah, I've always thought that Coach Wilson should and Seth Luttrell should use both and maybe use Roberson in a third down situation or in situations like we saw today where they're down in goal line situations. And this team has struggled to put it in the end zone in goal line situations, and I think IU has gotten one step closer to figuring out how they're going to capitalize every time in the red zone. And the funny thing is, I was right on the sideline, and the Penn State defensive coordinator was yelling, QB run, and they still couldn't stop him. So it just shows how versatile Trey Roberson is and how much he needs to play in order for this team to be successful.
One of your stories in our coverage today or tomorrow on today's game, Joe, is going to be about special teams. Can you just, how big did special teams come up in this one?
Special teams came up huge. It's been a kind of ignored area for Indiana over time because we focus on how bad the defense is. Oftentimes in terms of kick coverage and punt coverage, it's not good either. Today there was a blocked field goal. Ralph Green got his hand on it. Cody Latimer came up with a fumble that was forced by Steven Funderburk. And that's impressive. Cody talked about he wanted to make plays on special teams, and he was in the right place at the right time. And if Indiana can add this element to its team, come up with some extra possessions, maybe even extra points, it just gives opposing teams something else to worry about.
A couple crazy streaks broken today. Indiana beats Penn State for the first time in history. They had been 0-16 against Penn State all time. And this is Indiana's first time they've won a Big Ten opener since 2000 when they beat Iowa. So it's the first time they're 1-0. Big game at Michigan State, obviously, next week. But now you're in a situation where you can find a way to win those other 3 home games. This team could still go to a bowl game, which was really significant today. That's what we have for today. Check our coverage tonight. We'll have probably 10 to 15 stories in coverage of today's game. And continue to follow our work at allhoosiers.com.